cold one out there today, about 11 degrees. We just got about 5 inches of snow last night into this morning, and I got notification that this log splitter was getting delivered. So had to get her done. Truck driver wanted to get this thing unloaded and move on to the next couple stops. But just unloaded the Wolfe Ridge Pro 28C. And I want to thank Chris over there at Wolfe Ridge Manufacturing. He's got me set up with this thing for a couple, 2 or 3 months to see what I think of it, do some reviews with it, split some wood, and to share my experiences with you guys. So one thing I've got to do right off the get-go is get this thing cleaned up. I'm going to take it on over to the garage there where it's warm and get this thing washed off because it's got a lot of road salt all over it, and I sure as heck don't want to have this thing start getting rust on it right away. And while I've got it in the garage, I guess we'll look over the machine and share that with you. Let's get this thing over into the garage where it's warm and I can get her cleaned up. It's 60 degrees, so we're going to go ahead and rinse this thing off. Get any of that salt and grime that was on it, because I know that when this goes back or to whoever it ends up going to, they don't want a rusted brand new machine, and I sure as heck wouldn't want them to accept a brand new rusted one. And maybe we'll even go over a little bit. I'm a big fan of looking at welds, looking at functions and different things like that. And I know that this has got the new I-beam that they do internally where they put this extra gusset. Or actually, it's not really a gusset. It's just a big piece of plate that they weld inside of that I-beam for extra strength. And it's over here as well. I don't know if you can see it, but it starts right there, flares out, heads up front. But what that does is it essentially gives you the main I-beam web down through the middle inside of here, and then 2 more straight beams for that much more strength. So you should never be able to buckle this thing. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. Okay, now I've got it all rinsed down and washed off, I guess. Got most of the salt. I'll go through and wipe it down after I'm done here. But one thing I'm actually really glad to see, and the other machines that were on the trailer too, they were smart enough to wrap these with a bag here, get them taped up so that engine doesn't get grit and salt and grime all over it in transport. One nice thing I noticed right off the bat, it's got an hours meter on the engine there, sealed battery, electric start, pretty much everything you would ever expect in a Honda engine. You got your fuel shut off, your choke, your throttle control here, fuel tank, air filter, exhaust, down here where you drain your oil. I think at some point in time these things would be nice to have a tube that comes out further beyond there, so at some point I might look into doing that. Another thing that this thing has is it's got this back leg feature here. And I'm hoping in a future video I can do something neat with that. It's got the log lift up down. It's got the wedge up down. And if you guys don't know what the wedge up down is, it's to raise and lower this thing. It has a hydraulic cylinder. And let's get a little better look at that. Just a small cylinder that pins into the wedge. You can change that wedge through this pin here. You can get a 6-way, and there's some other options that they have out there. So that pops up out of there, pull that pin. You can raise and lower the height of this to change the split size that you're looking for. We've got the auto cycle on this. You go both forward. It comes to its stop position, and it auto retracts, and they both pop back. The log lift, which is right here, and it's got this fold out tray on here, which is pretty nice. You pull the pin back here, pop that out, and I'm guessing that this is pretty much for transport mode here, and then you pull this out, drop it down, comes to the ground. Put the pin back in here for storage when it's not in use, but I think for right now I'm going to fold her back up so we can get it cleaned off. All right, I've got it all pretty much wiped down, And there's one thing that I really wanted to express to you guys out there with this particular splitter. And as I was going through here and wiping things down, and this is by no mistake through the manufacturing process, but as you wipe this down, clean everything all up, there isn't a single spot on this splitter where my rag snagged on anything. There is zero weld splatter anywhere on this. And that actually really surprises me. That's not a mistake. They're doing something that doesn't leave all those little BBs all around every weld. There isn't anywhere. Doesn't matter where I've looked. You know, these are some ground off welds to make them smooth off the tray, but everywhere else, anywhere, there is a regular conventional weld. You don't have those little BBs that are stuck to the steel anywhere. That actually really shocks me. So kudos to Wolfe Ridge and Chris for making sure that they don't have that mess anywhere on their machines. I mean, I literally, once I started wiping and realizing that, hey, you know, this rag is not getting caught or snagged on anything, I actually started looking around for it and couldn't find them anywhere. I could not find weld spatter or the BBs or any kind of weld seams, weld joints, anything that left snags or hang-ups or anything like that. So I'm actually very impressed with that. I would say that's a job well done over at Wolfe Ridge Manufacturing in their weld department for making sure that that is like a Ferrari. So now the only thing really left to do is to take this shiny red Ferrari out and get it all scratched up. We're going to take this log arch up, get out a rather large maple that's down across the path over at neighbor Bob's, get that cut and out of the way and hauled down here so we can get it bucked up and start splitting on the new splitter. You know, I think, Adam, that half the fun of splitting wood is going out in the woods and getting the wood.
I always said the best part about cutting firewood is doing it back in the woods. Once we started doing it in our wood yard, it became a lot less fun.
If I can get Autumn to pan over here and look at this stump, it blew this tree over for some reason. I have no idea why, but blew it over. I noticed when we were riding through the woods the other day, couldn't get down through this path. I come out and I pre-marked this tree because I was curious before I bring the log arch back and everything else. So I've got it marked up in 12-foot lengths, and each dash is 16 inches. So I know where to cut it to get. I've got, what, 5 12-foot lengths here, and it's all pretty nice straight maple.
I was gonna say, I'll take the butt log for the sawmill.
Surprised to see that's hollow in there. Oh, you can have that butt log now.
Perfect.
You said you wanted it earlier, so I mean it's probably a phenomenal saw log for you.
I can make some river tables out of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy that tree was still alive.
Yeah.
And completely hollow in the center.
I don't know how far up this one goes, but we can always split the outside of that one up. This one might just push us down. So. We got the two lightest logs that are here.
There goes 2 heavy logs.
Well, dang it, these aren't gonna fit in there. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Got that 60 foot of maple all cut up, and man, is that some nice rounds there. They're anywhere from 20 inches diameter down to about 11 inches diameter, and we're gonna go ahead and get this Wolfe Ridge 28C Pro fired up. And boy, there's nothing that makes a nice pretty red paint job look any better than some Manflake glitter on there. So let's go ahead and get this thing started up and start working on these rounds and see how well they split. got half a basket split up. Been running it for 20-25 minutes, and this is the first time I've ever run a Wolfe Ridge splitter. A couple things that I've noticed is you've kind of got to get used to where all the levers and controls are. After about the first 15, I started to get a little bit of memory, or to remember where that actually was. A lot of the shots you've seen me, I would either do this one by itself, and that's because I wanted to come in. I didn't want to have the machine under control doing it. I wanted to be able to come in, split it halfway, return it, and grab it. There's no sense in running the full stroke on that forward. Now, the reverse stroke on this is extremely fast. So if you run both levers forward, it goes in all the way to the bottom, comes back. That's one thing when you're doing it on a full log. Okay, but as I'm trying to split up smaller pieces, and if you've noticed, a lot of the pieces I'm cutting, this is maybe 3.5 by 3.5, somewhere around there, inches. I like that size firewood for in my campfire fireplace up there. So the control of having my hand on the one lever doing that seems to be a little quicker. Every once in a while when I grab for the wedge or the log lift, I'll go the wrong way. This is my first time running it, so I'll have to get used to that. But all in all, man, what a fabulous splitter. It's fast, it's accurate. I love that wedge, and to be able to split that. And one thing I've noticed is as I split, to not load up my log lift completely full with 3, 4, 5 logs, because the bigger rounds that I'm splitting, these things are probably 13, 14 inch diameter. I want a place to set that extra log or that extra piece that I split off, because I'm going to be taking these down smaller. If these were pieces of boiler wood or something like that, then yeah, I would split the whole thing, throw it in there. But I want to be able to cut them down into smaller pieces, so I'm leaving myself room on the log lift to throw those on there. So we're going to go ahead and finish splitting up another basket full here and putting this thing through the test. But all in all, haven't run into anything at all that didn't have enough power to get through it. It runs nicely, and I guess we scratched a brand new paint on the Ferrari, but at least the weld seams are perfect. All right, we got a basket filled. Man, does that splitter seem to run pretty nice. Actually seen Adam, I've had him stop over, or actually I think he was nosy and just wanted to show up. But Adam, what did you think? I mean, you've got more time behind, I guess, high-end splitters. Yeah. What do you think?
I've run this style of splitter before with a log lift, the wedge, so I'm more familiar with the controls, so I feel like I'm able to get reacquainted with this a little bit quicker. I think whatever brand you get, this type of splitter is best served with at least 2 people running it. I think you could attest to running it by yourself versus having another body here feeding logs. They're just so fast. You've got to have more people to be able to keep up with the machine.
Right. And one thing that when I did do this, when I put the splitter here, and believe it or not, guys, I thought about this in the process of how it would flow better, is I put my logs, or that's where I had them cut, and it's a little bit downhill, so they roll easy downhill to the log lift. And then I put the basket offset. You might wonder, well, why didn't you put it right in front of it? Because I'm not stacking this, or I'm not just loose dropping it into a basket. I wanted it to be offset. Let me run around here real quick. I wanted it offset, so when I split, all the splits that were the right size were ending up on this side of the tray, and I could just put them in. But as you've seen, when Adam showed up, man, it just goes so much quicker with 2 guys. And these machines, this Pro 28C is so fast. It's the 6-second cycle one, and it's so fast that you almost got to have 2 guys to do it. But you know what?
To maximize the efficiency of it.
Yes, exactly. But I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not here to maximize efficiency. I'm out here just enjoying the day. So Adam, thanks for coming over and giving me your best opinion on that.
I like trying out new equipment.
All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap that up from here. If you guys are in the market for a splitter and you're just looking, make sure you look up Wolfe Ridge Manufacturing. try to get a hold of Chris or try to get a hold of Bob there. Get the specs on what you might like or what might work best for you. They've got all different kinds of splitters. So if you enjoyed that video, give me the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to be doing a lot more content with the Wolfe Ridge splitter and just splitting all different types of wood. I really enjoy getting outside and doing these types of things. So again, thank you, Chris, for sending this to me. We're going to do our best to put it through the paces and give it a good trial. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.